Hey guys, how's it going? Now you join me inside the Carcoon where obviously the Mini is stored. So this is going to be the final Mini update before we get it back out in a couple of weeks time and get it back on the road and get it to P&L Minis. So I'm going to talk about what's happening at P&L Minis in a second, but first let's get the trickle charger off and let's get this thing fired up and just make sure everything's running okay. So I've just taken the cover off the front and just taking the trickle charger off as well. So the question now is, will it start? Now it should do, because it's been on the trickle charger for quite some time now. So I just leave the windows down a little bit just to let a bit of air in when it's being sat. So fingers crossed, just mobilise the thing. It's out of gear. Yes, and all lights are out. Fantastic. Now it is quite it's quite loud when it's cold, which is the thing I like about it, is get that lovely sort of raw sound out of the exhaust when it's cold, which is great. So I'll just let it warm up a little bit, and then I'll talk to you when I've turned the engine off, so it'll be easier, about some of the little why it's going into P&L basically, and also just adding something under the bonnet as well. So I'll let this warm up a little bit and then I'll be back. So I've turned the car off now. Everything was running well. I just do this every so often just to keep everything running, like I said before. So yeah, in a couple of weeks time, well, the 3rd of March, this will be going into P&L Minis. Now we called in the place, P&L Mini specialists, explained the situation with the little hole in the subframe. Unfortunately, due to the fact that it's against, you can't weld the subframe because it won't pass the MOT. It has to have a new subframe. So unfortunately, it is going to have a new subframe. It is a little bit annoying because there's nothing else wrong with the subframe apart from a very small hole. But end of the day, it's, you know, I'd rather get a new subframe than weld it up and then risk that not working. So so yeah, it's going to be new subframe going in and getting fitted, which is a fairly big job because you've got to drop all the fuel tank, basically the rear end really, to get the subframe on and then bolt everything to it. So it's going to be a fairly big job, but luckily I'm not doing it. So now that, in terms of pricing, I'm not 100% sure yet how much it will be, because when it's in there, it's obviously going to have the rear subframe done. It's going to have a service, and also, like I mentioned before, a little seal on the gearbox to hopefully cure the oil leak. But having said that, when I've been working on it over the past few weeks with the paintwork and stuff, I've had a quick look underneath and there hasn't been any oil, so that's always a bonus. I'll have another check in a minute. There might be a little bit, but who cares? So yeah, it's going in there. Now obviously the reason I'm doing this, especially with the service, it's just due to the fact that I'm gonna London in it, so I want to make sure everything is all right. You know, and the other thing is, obviously when it's in there, they can have a check over everything else. You know, anything else that wants doing, I'll have it done, because, you know, why not? It's obviously it's a keeper. So yeah, that's really where we are with it at the minute. Everything else is pretty much perfect, apart from something under the bonnet, which I'll show you now. So yeah, under the bonnet we've got these Aldi locker cover on. Now these are blue, but it doesn't really match with anything else. I thought, for not much money, I bought these, which are just chrome, completely chrome. So I'm going to fit them now. That'll just you know, improve the look a little bit under the bonnet. So we'll get them fitted. There we have it, a lot better under there now. So yeah, that's it. Now obviously under the bonnet now it looks a lot better because we've painted it. Now the true test will be in maybe 6 months time and see if any that red paint cracks, but it shouldn't do because obviously it's the right paint for the engine, so that should all be good. So that is it then, for the final update. Now the next video should be pretty exciting with this car, because it will be the first back on the road. So I'll be doing a video of that and just take it for a quick drive. Now I can't actually drive it far because the tracking hasn't been done, so it's going to go for the tracking first thing on the 3rd of March, then it's going to go straight over to P&L hopefully I'll have it for about a week, and then it'll be back with me. So I can't take it too far, but I can take it for a little spin round on the that'll be the 2nd of March. So I can't wait for that when this car's back on the road. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. As ever, there'll be plenty more videos to come on this car and the Swift. Cheers.